Take two, because now we have sound. Yeah. We're at the Vancouver Toy Show for a screening in the Kiggins Theatre, and we already did this once before. You want to try it again?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay, this is the first movie we're seeing in 2018, and we're going to make you guess, kind of, maybe.
Okay. Okay. It's a classic.
It's a sequel.
It's in black and white.
It stars one of the kings of classic horror.
I remember. The titular character only shows up for the last 6 minutes of the film, yet left an indelible mark on pop culture and monster movie history.
Indelible. That's not what you use. That's a big word.
I know. That's not what I used the last time, but,
hey,
spontaneity's gone.
Sure,
I can actually think now.
Yes. Okay, the movie's directed by James Whale, and I think this is where people figure out what it is.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. We're seeing Bride of Frankenstein at the Kiggins Theatre here in Vancouver, which is a theater I've never been to, but this is your old stomping ground, and we started talking about why this theater was important to you, and then realized we had no sound. So yeah.
Anyway, I'll just go through it real quick. When I moved to Vancouver in 1973, this and another theater on the other street was east of here, the Broadway Theater, were the only two theaters in the area unless you wanted to go across the bridge to Portland. So this theater would get like first-run movies. I remember seeing The Spy Who Loved Me in the theater.
Nice.
That parachute opening just had this whole theater just applauding.
Right on.
But the big thing about this is where I saw my first R-rated horror film. It was a double feature. I don't remember anything about the films other than the fact that the blood effects were all done with those red crayon-y,
okay.
blood. But it was the first time I'd ever seen an R-rated horror film because my folks wouldn't take me to them, so I got to walk in with my ID and go, I'm in now. So it was actually pretty cool.
But the place is classed up now. I mean, before...
Oh, man, before it was pretty run down, but I guess, you've got the video with no sound, but we weren't talking, of the placard out across the street that gives a little bit of the history. And I think I was in here one other time, but I'm just still amazed at how beautiful this theater is now. It used to, it was just...
A theater.
Yeah, a theater. The chairs were not that great. The floors were kind of sticky because of popcorn.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yes. But, it wasn't... I just don't want them to think this was the Grindhouse Theater of Vancouver. It really wasn't. It was very nice for the time. But, boy, it's beautiful now. It's amazing. I took pictures to send to my parents because they're going to go, this is the Kiggins?
That's very cool.
Yes.
They had some of the original seats upstairs. I think I'll go up there and I'll shoot a shot of it before we leave. I like the place. The seats are comfy. It'll be fun to see Bride of Frankenstein here. And like I said, it was the first movie I've seen in 2018.
Same here.
Which is going to be great. We haven't introduced you. This is Chris McMillan from The Shadow over Portland.
Hi there.
Yeah. Okay. Chris has been on Monster Kid Radio quite a bit. He was on the very first episode of my podcast, and it was amazing. He's been on the show repeatedly since. It's been a little while, though, hasn't it? About a month or so?
We did Kaltiki.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so...
It's been, it hasn't been that long, and thank you for having me on YouTube now, I guess.
The very first YouTube Monster Kid Radio. This will be the first MKR YouTube.
Wow, 2 for 2 on being on the first MKR.
So you were on the first Monster Kid Radio. We just hit 350 episodes at the end of last year.
Yes, congratulations on that.
And I'm going to attribute that to you being my good luck charm being on the first episode. So every new project, you've got to be on the first episode from now on.
I think I can handle that.
Okay. So this is the first time you've seen Bride of Frankenstein on the big screen. What did you think, man?
Oh, wow. I mean, it's beautiful. And as we were saying this before we came into the MKR mobile, I've seen this so many times. I've seen it, on TV. I've seen it on home video, but I mean, every time I see one of these movies that I haven't seen in a theater before, but I've seen so many times, it makes me realize that going to a theater is the way to see them.
Oh, yes.
They are just, there's so much you see that you might miss detail-wise, and yeah, I was staring with my eyes wide open the whole thing. I don't think I blinked because I didn't want to miss anything.
There's something about this one, and shout out, by the way, to Katie and Tice.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they were sitting in front of us, and they had never seen the movie before.
Oh, yeah.
We talked a little about Monster Kid Radio and Shout Over Portland. So if they're watching, hey.
Hi.
And glad you guys enjoyed the movie. It's the first time for them. Man, if I could see these movies for the first time on the big screen.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's so good. Bride of Frankenstein, we told them that we think this is the best of the Universal batch, and I think so. I love the first.
Oh, yeah. But I'm going to stand by that. Bride is the better of them all, the best of them all.
It's so much more dynamic. I feel like James Whale is a little bit more advanced as a filmmaker. It's what, 4 years between the first and this one?
I think so. And it wasn't the Old Dark House in between?
Yeah, Old Dark House. And I don't know I can't remember where the Invisible Man landed.
Yeah, but, I'm not sure either.
Not on top of my head anyway, just because I'm still in Bride of Frankenstein mode.
Yeah.
I've said this before on the podcast. This is the Batman Returns to Frankenstein being Batman. In that, in Frankenstein, I felt like the studio really sat on James Whale the way the studio sat on Tim Burton in the first Batman. And when Batman Returns comes around, Tim Burton's like, okay, I'm Tim Burton. And they're like, yeah, cool, do it. And I feel like in this one, James Whale had a little bit more pull and just really went all out and did so much stuff. There's so many subversive things just beneath the surface.
Yeah, and you catch a lot more of it, too, when you see it the way it's supposed to be seen, projected. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah. And the editing during the scene where they, bring the bride to life. Mm-hmm. Wow.
The sequence is really good. And to have the images that big and that loud, and I suppose if I had any complaints about the Kiggins, they did run the volume pretty high in some spots, so those brassy notes, Katie and Tice were plugging their ears. It was really loud, and I'm thinking, okay, this is either going to be really good for my tinnitus and blow everything out, or make it even worse. Haven't decided yet.
Oh yeah, no, but I was worried early on when they started the film. It was the dialogue was quiet, and I'm like, oh, this is not going to be really good. And then all of a sudden, you
ba, 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 ba. Yeah,
and Minnie.
Oh, Una.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
my.
Una.
Oh.
Whoa. This year on Monster Kid Radio, I don't know, have you listened to the last episode?
I'm working on it.
Okay. It's the year of Frankenstein on MKR because...
I heard that.
It's, 200 years now. January 1st, 1818 is when Frankenstein was first published.
All right.
So it's 200 years, and because it's the 200th year, I'm doing a Frankenstein moment in every episode of MKR. So to that end, I'm going to end this recording and bust out the audio recorder because I'd love to talk a little bit more with you for the episode where we're going to be talking about Bride of Frankenstein briefly.
I would love to.
All right. So again, Chris McMillan, shadowOverPortland.blogspot.com. There will be a link in the comments below. And let's see, what are you supposed to say at the end of a YouTube video? Like this video if you like it, and subscribe.
Yeah, and are you going to have things holding up on one side of the screen?
If I can figure out how to make that happen. Although, I'm looking at the screen right now. If I do it, it might end up over your face. So
that's okay. I'll sacrifice my face for that.
If I can figure it out. If not, just follow the links in the comments.